Welcome to Nightline. I'm Natasha Busst. The top stories. 3 million ringgit graft case, former Malacca political secretary and wife remanded, while 2 senior government officials held over misappropriation case. And woman's dismembered body found in 2 separate rubbish dumps. A former political secretary to a former Malacca chief minister and his wife have been remanded for 5 days from Thursday to assist in investigations into a corruption case. Magistrate Ezrin Zakaria issued the order to remand the couple who were arrested on Wednesday at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission headquarters in Putrajaya. They are suspected of soliciting and accepting approximately 3 million ringgit in bribes in exchange for facilitating the appointment of a company as the concessionaire for a sea reclamation project in Malacca. Preliminary investigations found that the suspect, who holds the title Datuk Wira, is believed to have committed the offence between February and November 2021. It was also revealed that the bribe money was allegedly used to purchase a condominium unit in the Klang Valley. In the same court, a director general and a director of a government department were remanded on suspicion of misappropriating approximately 900,000 ringgit in funds. A 5-day remand order until February 16th was issued against both suspects after an application was made by the MACC. Preliminary investigations revealed that the suspects are believed to have abused their positions and authority by using financial allocations amounting to about 900,000 ringgit at their workplace for personal gain. Sources revealed that the duo are also suspected of submitting false claims and documents containing false particulars amounting to approximately 60,000 ringgit to perform the Umrah pilgrimage while attending official duties in Jeddah from January 29th to February 4th last year. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki confirmed the arrests. He said the case is being probed as criminal breach of trust and dishonest misappropriation of property. In Sabah, residents in Kota Kinabalu were faced with shocking news on Thursday when a woman's dismembered body was discovered cut into 7 parts and disposed at 2 separate rubbish dumps. The victim's body had been cut at the neck, torso, buttocks, arms and legs, then placed into plastic bags before being dumped. The gruesome discovery was first made at 6:30 a.m. when a sanitation worker found a dismembered leg and arm in a rubbish bin at Taman Indah Permai. Police were alerted to the scene and further searches led to the recovery of the head and several other parts at a nearby dumping site. 2 more body parts of the victim, however, are still missing. Kota Kinabalu Acting Police Chief Superintendent Syed Lot Syed Abdul Rahman said the recovered body parts are believed to belong to the same victim. The identity of the woman has not yet been confirmed. Police do not rule out the possibility that the victim was killed elsewhere before her remains were dumped at these locations. The body parts have been sent to the forensic department at Queen Elizabeth Hospital for a post-mortem examination. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for murder. The Cabinet will be briefed on Friday on issues concerning unregulated places of worship, including recent incidents involving the intrusion and demolition of a temple in Rawang. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the briefing will cover the full circumstances surrounding the incident, including the individuals involved.
Saya akan memaklumkan kepada jemaah menteri besok tentang keadaan sebenar yang berlaku, tentang watak-watak yang terlibat, tentang bagaimana pihak polis berusaha untuk mengawal keadaan. Ya, kerana itu kadang-kadang tindakan polis dilihat hanya dari satu kacamata.
Saifuddin was speaking to reporters after attending his ministry's monthly assembly in Putrajaya on Thursday. On Wednesday, it was reported that police had arrested 4 men to assist in investigations into the alleged encroachment at a temple in Rawang. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Shazli Kahar said the arrests were made following a report lodged on the demolition of the temple that was allegedly built without adhering to regulations in the area. The Public Service Department, or PSD, will review circulars, regulations, and guidelines that are more than 20 years old are no longer relevant, including rules on civil servants holding shares in private companies. In a statement on Thursday, the PSD said the review aimed to align policies with current needs and developments across the government, economic, business, and technological landscape. The department added that all government entities are now required to review regulatory instruments, including circulars and guidelines under their jurisdiction every 3 years. This is in accordance with the Government Service Efficiency Commitment Act, which came into force on December 1st last year. The update is a key agenda item in the bureaucracy red tape reform, a core pillar of the public service reform agenda aimed at boosting efficiency, integrity, and public service delivery. The Selangor government will cease issuing pig farming licenses and has ordered the accelerated closure of all existing farms. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari also announced that the state will fully import pork supplies to meet local demand. In a statement on Thursday, Amiruddin said the decision was made at a State Executive Council meeting following a call by the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharifuddin Idris Shah, on Wednesday for a halt to pig farming activities in the state. He added that the state government fully upholds the ruler's latest directive, in which Sultan Sharifuddin stated that he does not consent to pig farming being carried out in any district in Selangor. Since January, the state government has stopped issuing pig farming licenses and has also begun clearing existing farm sites in Tanjung Sepat, Kuala Langat. The Menteri Besar added that any approval for import licenses will be referred to the federal government in line with its jurisdiction over licensing matters. The decision was taken to address public sensitivities and concerns over environmental impacts, including water drainage issues and odor pollution. Cloud seeding operations have been carried out in Johor since Wednesday to address declining dam water levels caused by the dry spell. The operations focused on the Upper Layang, Pulai 1 and Machap dams. The National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, announced that the operation will be conducted again this Sunday. The initiative is being mobilized in collaboration with the Royal Malaysian Air Force and Met Malaysia. According to NADMA, following Wednesday's cloud seeding, areas surrounding the Upper Layang Dam have begun to experience rain. Cloud seeding will also be carried out at 3 dams in Kedah and 1 in Perak. The operations are further aimed at addressing the depletion of dam water used for agricultural irrigation, specifically rice cultivation, as well as domestic consumption. Kumpulan Wang Persaraan Diperbadankan, or KWAP, has launched Jana My Pesara, a targeted microfinancing initiative to help pensioners generate additional income and boost their financial resilience during retirement. The initiative, launched by Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan, reflects the government's commitment to promoting inclusive growth. Amir Hamzah said the initiative will enable pensioners to pursue income-generating activities and participate meaningfully in economic activity, thereby enhancing their financial resilience in retirement. He said the joint initiative with Amanah Ikhtiar Malaysia involves an allocation of 20 million ringgit.
Macam mana nak ada kecelikan kewangan ni semua yang buatkan kuat untuk prepare pesara. Jadi usaha yang kita ada hari ini adalah usaha yang lain pula, ya, untuk meningkatkan lagi peluang untuk mereka mencana dana yang lebih untuk kehidupan lebih baik di masa depan.
Also present at the launch were KWAP Chief Executive Officer Datuk Nik Amlizan Muhammad and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Amanah Ikhtiar Malaysia, Datuk Seri Dr. Syed Husian Syed Junid. The program was designed based on Co-op's survey findings, which showed nearly 60% of respondents were interested in entrepreneurship during retirement, with additional income cited as the primary motivation.
How is Pahang leveraging talent to boost long-term economic growth? What indicators truly show that capacity-building efforts are working? How do state-linked institutions maintain social impact while staying financially sustainable? Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan speaks with Dali Kumar Sadar of Yayasan Pahang only on Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Singapore will allocate $792 million to the startup SG Equity Scheme to support promising tech startups and growth stage companies. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong said the move will strengthen the island nation's enterprise ecosystem amid tighter global funding conditions. He made the announcement on Thursday during the tabling of Singapore's Budget 2026. The government will also provide seed capital to catalyze private investment into Singapore-based tech startups with strong scaling potential. The scheme, previously focused on early-stage funding, will be expanded to support growth-stage firms, which often require larger and longer-term capital to scale. Beyond the funding boost, the government will adopt a more systemic approach to strengthen Singapore's growth capital ecosystem. Asian stocks climbed to record highs on Thursday, led by technology shares and strong gains in Japan and South Korea as investor confidence improved across the region. Japanese markets rallied after Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's decisive election win, with expectations of economic stimulus supporting sentiment. European futures also pointed to a strong opening as investors continue to assess corporate earnings across the region. Meanwhile, a stronger-than-expected U.S. jobs report reduced hopes for near-term Federal Reserve rate cuts, pushing Treasury yields and the dollar higher against most currencies. Investors are now turning their attention to upcoming U.S. inflation data, seen as the next key indicator for the direction of global interest rates and financial markets. MMEA makes record-breaking drug seizure at sea. More news from the local front after this breather.
Wow Shop membawakan anda promosi istimewa di bulan Ramadan. Wow, sama-sama berkat. Raikan keberkatan sambil menikmati penjimatan hebat. Bermula 19 Januari ini, selamat menyambut bulan penuh rahmat. Jimat berbelanja penuh makna.
Anim, dulu zaman sekolah awak suka subjek apa?
Mestilah sejarah. Kita sebagai rakyat Malaysia kena tahu asal-usul negara kita.
Usus bocor jangan ambil mudah, boleh bawa mudarat pada badan.
Harga sama, tapi kenapa saiz makanan dan barangan semakin kecil? Nantikan kupasannya.
Cendawan emas, punca rezeki dan pendapatan menguntungkan.
Harta anda disita atau dibekukan, apa perlu buat?
Semuanya di MHI, Isnin hingga Jumaat.
Eksklusif di Tonton dan TV3.
Abang hanya manusia biasa yang tak habis-habis buat salah.
Abi ingat Irfan ni pendera.
Dah terbukti pun.
Kita nak cari kebenaran, kan?
Saya nak you pastikan tak perlu naik kod.
Saya Inspektor Razak dari unit siasatan jenayah.
Kau mana tahu? Haikal tak nak jadi anak orang jahat.
Kau tak boleh sewenang-wenangnya nanti diri kau sebagai pengganti aku tanpa persetujuan aku.
Doa yang terlindung. Minggu akhir, Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam. di Akasia TV3.
How is Pahang leveraging talent to boost long-term economic growth? What indicators truly show that capacity-building efforts are working? How do state-linked institutions maintain social impact while staying financially sustainable? Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan speaks with Dali Kumar Sadar of Yayasan Pahang only on Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Welcome back. The Malaysian Border Control and Protection Agency has seized 195 tons of electronic waste and other prohibited materials in a joint operation at Westport in Port Klang, Selangor. The illegal waste imports were detected in 9 containers shipped from the United States. The operation, led by Port Klang MCBA Commander Datuk Nik Ezani Muhammad Faisal, was carried out at 3 p.m. at the port scanner inspection site on Wednesday. A total of 10 containers were inspected, with 7 found to contain e-waste. 1 container was loaded with scheduled waste, while another contained a mixture of plastic and paper waste. Only 1 container, carrying industrial machinery, was found to be in order and free of any prohibited materials. Among the items discovered in the 7 e-waste containers were used computer components, printers, and photocopiers. The shipments originated from several ports in the U.S., including Los Angeles, Norfolk, and New York. Nik Ezani said the containers have been placed in a secure holding area pending further notice from the Department of Environment for re-export. The Pahang Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, made its largest ever drug seizure at sea on Wednesday, confiscating more than 1.5 tons of shabu worth 79 million ringgit during inspections of 2 vessels in Pahang waters. Apart from the drugs, the enforcement team also detained 18 crew members and 2 skippers from Thailand and Indonesia, aged between 33 and 71. Pahang MMEA Director First Admiral Mazlan Mat Rejab said the operation began with the inspection of a Thailand-registered tanker located some 107 nautical miles northeast of Kuantan. 10 Thai nationals and 3 Indonesian crew members were on board the tanker. 76 sacks containing shabu weighing 1.57 tons were recovered, along with approximately 50,000 liters of diesel. 3 minutes later, an Indonesian-registered cargo vessel was also detained at the same location with 5 crew members, all from Indonesia. The drugs are believed to have been smuggled through Malaysian waters for sale on the international market. A 15-year-old student pleaded not guilty at the Shah Alam High Court on Thursday to the murder of his schoolmate in Bandar Utama, Petaling Jaya last October. The accused entered his plea after the charge was read out before Judge Adlin Abdul Majid. The proceedings were held in private, with only the teenager's lawyer, Kitson Fung, and his family allowed to attend, as the case involves a juvenile offender. According to the charge sheet, the teenage boy allegedly murdered a 16-year-old girl in a toilet at their school on October 14, 2025. The offence under the Penal Code provides for the death penalty or a maximum of 40 years imprisonment and up to 12 strokes of the cane upon conviction. However, the Child Act stipulates that the death sentence cannot be imposed on children under 18. Instead, the court may order the juvenile to be detained at the pleasure of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Sultan, or state governor. The court fixed March 6 for case management. In Johor, a 17-year-old boy was among 12 people charged in 3 separate courts on Thursday with being members of 2 organized crime groups over the past 2 years. No pleas were recorded after the charges were read before Sessions Court judges Dato' Ahmad Kamal Arifin Ismail and Dato' Chewan Zaidi Chewan Ibrahim and Magistrate Nur Fatin Muhammad Farid. In the first group, Lim Kam Weng, 26, R. Kesava Raj, 20, and 4 prison inmates, I. Richie, 22, L. Navindran, 26, Muhammad Hazwan Sazali, 38, and J. Jivaneswaran, 25, were charged with being members of gang Richie. They allegedly committed the offence in Masai between February 2024 and September 2025. The second group, comprising M. Vimalan Raj, 27, M. Nageswaran, 33, Tommy Vu Tse Hao, 28, I. Abdul Rahufur Rahim, 31, Kwek Pei Lin, 20, and the teenager were charged with being members of Gang Vincent. They are accused of committing the offence in Kulai between March 2025 and January 2026. All 12 were charged under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail term of 20 years upon conviction. The courts denied bail for all the accused and fixed March 12 for mention. Severe weather disruptions in France. The details when Nightline returns.
Kadang kita memilih, kadang kita terpilih. Bahagia itu pilihan tak perlu sempurna. Tapi Syira, saya pilih buah rambutan sebab dia unik lepas tu sedap. Nak tahu tak menu masakan dari rambutan? Suntik sini, potong sana, tak pernah puas. Jangan sampai cantik bau mudarat, kita bincangkan. Masalah tidur, jangan dipandang mudah. Adakah boleh mendatangkan maut? Segera dapatkan rawatan. Kurang komunikasi, bina jurang pemisah. Selamatkan rumah tangga sebelum terlambat. Semuanya di Wanita Hari Ini TV3 dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Hei, aku tak heran pun lah dengan si Mikael tu. Dulu awak boleh cakap yang awak tak suka saya. Kononnya saya ni bilopa as compared to Jamia.
Kau kena tolongkan aku. Tolong apa pula ni? Tolongkan aku dapatkan Mel balik.
Mel terimalah si Copah tu jadi suami Mel, ya?
Mel dapat pesan. Mel akan backup dengan Mikael.
My Stolen First Love, Jumaat dan Sabtu 9 malam di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Hai semua, Assalamualaikum. Saya Elvira Loy. Inilah anak nombor 2 saya, nama dia Arya.
Anak nombor 1.
Macam chill a bit sebab dia dah besar. Adik, girl must lembut. Like, can you open for me please? I suka ada momen macam ni. Ada budak-budak ni memang nak dinner pun boleh jadi lama. Tak okey tu cuba manja sikit.
Okey. Jangan lupa saksikan Oh Mami di TV3 setiap Sabtu 7 malam dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Orang tak tahu ke Mami lebih kelakar dari Daddy?
Okey, last touch up. Itu dia. Cantik. Sayang kacau sampai dia rata.
Berapa bajet saya shopping kita orang raya tahun ni?
Tahun ni tak ada bajet. Jangan lupa saksikan Jom Berbuka.
Setiap Sabtu 7.30 malam di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
The foreign front. In Thailand, a headmistress who was injured in a school shooting in southern Songkhla on Wednesday has passed away. The victim, 54-year-old Sasipat Sinsamusorn, succumbed to severe blood loss on Thursday after being shot in the chest. Local police reported that Sasipat was shot while courageously defending students from the 18-year-old gunman. Officers were able to apprehend the suspect after a standoff during which he was shot. Investigations revealed that the suspect had previously stabbed an officer with a knife and stolen his pistol before the shooting took place. The suspect, who has a history of psychiatric treatment, is currently receiving medical care in a hospital. The suspect in a deadly school shooting in Western Canada was an 18-year-old woman with a history of mental health issues. The killer, whom police identified as Jesse Van Rootselaar, died by suicide after the shooting on Tuesday in Tumbler Ridge. Officials said Wednesday that Van Rootselaar, who was born male but began identifying as female 6 years ago, first killed her mother and stepbrother at the family home before going to a school and fatally shooting a female teacher and 5 students. Police revised the death toll down to 9, including Van Rootselaar, from the initially reported 10. The motive for the attack is not yet known. A 30-year-old man will be charged with attempted murder on Friday after he allegedly attacked a 30-year-old woman with an axe at a residential unit in Sim Zoo in Singapore. The Singapore Police Force on Thursday said it was alerted to the assault at about 7:05 a.m. local time on Wednesday. The woman sustained injuries and was taken to hospital. Officials said the suspect, an Indian national, and the victim, an Indonesian national, were known to each other. If convicted, he faces life imprisonment and caning, or a jail sentence of up to 20 years and a fine or caning, or both. Counting has begun in Bangladesh's election, with Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP chairman Tariq Rahman expressing confidence about defeating an Islamist-led coalition. Rahman, who is also the leading prime ministerial candidate, is confident that the BNP can regain power in the South Asian nation. However, the 60-year-old faces a tough challenge from the country's largest Islamist party, Jamaat-e-Islami. Jamaat's leader, Shafiqur Rahman, has also expressed optimism about his party's chances and is vowed to do whatever is required to ensure a fair outcome. Many opinion polls give the BNP a slight lead, although some suggest a tight race. Early results are expected to be released overnight. The polls are being held for the first time since the deadly 2024 uprising. In other news, one person was killed and nearly 850,000 households were left without electricity as Storm Nils battered southern and southwestern France with violent winds, flooding and avalanches on Thursday. Power grid operator Enedis said around 850,000 homes were without electricity, including 485,000 in Nouvelle-Aquitaine and 318,000 in Occitanie, the region's hardest hit by the storm. 4 departments were displaced under red alert for risks including avalanches, high winds and severe flooding. Schools have closed, trains have been cancelled, and traffic speeds have also been reduced. Turning to sports now, golf, the 2026 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Defending champion Jenith Wong opened her title defense in New Zealand with an even par 72 on Thursday, leaving her 8 shots behind first-round leader Yang Yoon-so of South Korea. The 21-year-old Malaysian made a flying start at Royal Wellington Golf Club, rolling in 4 birdies in her opening 6 holes. However, her momentum faltered around the turn as she dropped 3 straight bogeys at holes 10, 11 and 12, causing her to slip off the early pace. Despite the setback, Jenith, last year's winner and first Malaysian to capture the prestigious title in Vietnam, remained composed to finish the day level par. The first day lead was claimed by Yang, who shot an impressive 8 under 64. With France bearing the brunt of Storm Nils, we close tonight's edition of Nightline with visuals of the damage and devastation the storm has left in its wake as it continues its path through Europe, having already affected Spain. I'm Natasha. Busst. Thank you for watching and stay safe.